We are living through a chopped man epidemic.
She makes it sound like you guys look how the Toxic Avenger smells, and you're out here smelling like a McDonald's dumpster fire on a hot summer day. Welcome back to Let's Connect, your destination for peak experiences. Before we go any further, don't shoot the messenger by sending hate to any creator. It might make you temporarily feel good to make the world a more terrible place, but that doesn't make the message any less valid. Switching gears and getting back on topic, men, please understand that the typical woman walks around looking like this. However, it doesn't have to be that way for you. It's very possible to get women looking at you like you're their first meal after a hard gym session. Attraction is a hot topic in recent memory because, aside from chopped reasons, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, wait, Human Services? I swear that's the type of name Skynet or Elon Musk would name an organization if it didn't want to be accused of being AI. Anyways, Human Services reported that only 35.2% of all men between the ages of 18 and 65 lift weights. Men, listen very carefully. Attracting a woman and keeping a woman require two very different sets of skills. Think of it like golf. Attracting women is the long game, and keeping a woman is the short game. It doesn't matter how good you can putt if every time you swing, you hit the goddamn ball into the lake. Today, we will be talking about your long game, attraction, specifically how to attract women and unchop yourself. The goal of this video is to outline the mechanisms that get a woman to look at you like this. If you play your cards right, you can even have a woman internally twerking for you like Thanos on Fortnite. Preamble out of the way, let's jump into 5 different aspects of attraction so that you can go from chopped to a blip on a woman's radar. Each of these aspects of attraction deserves its own video, so I'll be doing a proper dive into each in the future. Think of this as an overview. I swear, every time I make one of these, I discover more work. Shameless work prompting aside, yes, being attractive will help you attract women. Yeah, no shit. What am I going to say next? That food is the best cure for hunger, or that money is the best way to pay your rent? Without attempting to sound condescending, let me dive into what women find attractive. Let's break this down into 3 basic categories: body, face/skin, and clothes. Men, think of your body as a billboard for your personality. Your body silently but boldly communicates a lot about you. It's a marker for your self-discipline, confidence, resilience, and self-love because those who love themselves treat themselves accordingly. And oh yeah, women notice these things. Understand that to authentically love others, you must first love yourself. The love you give a woman is from a place of surplus, never from a deficit. When your cup is overflowing, you can more readily fill another's. This may break some hearts, but it needs to be said. Love isn't tangible. We can't hold it in our hands or view it under a microscope. However, we can see evidence of it. A great way to show love for yourself is by radiating physical health, a confident demeanor, and vigorous vitality. These signals will send messages to women that you are safe to be around because you love yourself. And by extension, you have the ability to love her. Despite women claiming to have supernatural intuition, what they're really doing is observing physical, often nonverbal indicators on a man, processing them subconsciously, and the result of these lightning-fast calculations is transmuted as a feeling. That feeling is either an ecstatic yes or a repulsive no. To be on the positive part of that equation, start with a healthy body fat percentage. A healthy range that women tend to find the most attractive is between 13 and 20%. Of course, there are some special considerations such as fat distribution, where fat is stored in the lower body rather than the stomach and chest. All these specific exceptions aside, it is best to be within that range. There are hormonal reasons for this as well, specifically testosterone. Testosterone and energy levels tend to drop when body fat drops below roughly 13% or rises above 20%. This presents a target range for you to aim for. Let's dive into muscle. The easiest way to differentiate yourself from the background noise that is, other men, is to build some muscle. Building muscle is difficult in a literal and metabolic sense. You obviously want muscle. Who doesn't? But you don't need to be on gear to build enough muscle to attract women. The body type that women find most attractive across the board is the athletic build. The athletic build is the medium between bodybuilding and a marathon runner. The athletic build has good strength, but not super strength. Think Batman versus Superman. You have Batman levels of strength, but you can't box with Superman. Next is stamina. You don't have to be a Kenyan marathon runner, but you can have the stamina of a mall cop after his third glazed donut, primed for a siesta. Having trash stamina will cause a woman to dry up like concrete in a desert sandstorm. Now, you'd think a woman is either on medication or her chromosome number is a little bit off if she arrives on a date and asks you for blood work so that she can check your cholesterol and testosterone levels. To not appear crazy, women make educated guesses based on your body type. The assumption is that the athletic body type is the perceived best combination of power, stamina, and is easy on the eyes. So, what does this look like in practice? Just put yourself in a woman's position for just a moment. Don't worry, considering this for just a moment won't make you any less alpha or gay or trans or, whatever is floating out there in the political consciousness at the moment. Which would you rather have on top of you? This or this? Marinated skin aside, I think we all know the answer. Why take my word for it when it's been well documented that women have more orgasms with more attractive partners? Now, unless you subscribe to the idea that the female orgasm is useless, which it isn't, then this information is pretty important because more orgasm for women, especially if you're able to give them, is a good thing. Oh, you want a second source? In a paper titled The Influence of Body Composition Effects on Male Facial Masculinity and Attractiveness, researchers found that women prefer faces associated with higher muscle mass for short term relationships rather than long term. There's also research that indicates that sexual satisfaction and relationship satisfaction are closely linked. So, yes, sexual satisfaction is a key predictor of relationship satisfaction. So let's do a little bit of math. Being more attractive equals more orgasms equals more sexual satisfaction equals relationship satisfaction. If I were to predict the future, I could see a woman or two setting my comment section on fire about kindness and intelligence being most important. First, I would like to refer you to this image. Second, ask yourself, when was the last time you were sexually aroused by a man's donation to the Salvation Army? Why are all these sexual fantasies in romance novels werewolves, vampires, or handsome billionaires with a passion for chains, whips, and sexual contracts? Yes, kindness may keep the engine running, but it's not what started the engine in the first place, and it's definitely not the source of sexual satisfaction. Read the articles in the description for a more complete scientific perspective. Getting back on track, men, if you are seeking to attract women and establish a long term relationship, it is best to be optimized for the short term while maintaining a mindset focused on the future. Now, that's just skin deep, and evolution is not stupid. Evolution has an imperative to survive, and dying or leaving children to fend for themselves is like violating the first law of robotics. So, how did evolution pull this off in women? Through smell. In a paper titled Falling in Love is Associated with Immune System Gene Regulation, researchers discovered that when women fall in love, their body's immune system behaves differently. One set of immune cells called we call them D cells, become hyperactive while other cells, neutrophils, downregulate certain transcriptors, alpha defenses, and causes them to calm down. The science is really sciencing on this one, but the point is that women will undergo changes in their immune system that keep her attracted to her man. The best way to improve your smell so that you radiate positive health markers is by eating a healthy diet, engaging in strength training, getting proper rest, regulating stress, and doing things that bring you happiness. I will cover the perfect exercise routine in another video, but for now, sculpt your body, stay active, and eat a colorful, rich diet that will help you show good signs of health. Status is key. You cannot turn biology off. And biologically speaking, women are highly sensitive to social dominance hierarchies because of survival. If a woman pairs with a man of more status in virtually any environment, her life will improve, become easier, and most likely have greater access to some form of resources. Men need to understand that status is highly context dependent and it's not necessarily a universal thing. Let's take someone like Elon Musk. Sure, he has a lot of status in business and money, but put him on stage against a comedian, and chances are he'll get booed off the stage. The biggest mistake men make when it comes to status is a direct pursuit of status, instead of status being the indirect result of his efforts. Status is not something you can directly pursue. It's not a real destination because it's not tangible. Status is the perception that others place upon you as a result of your competency in a given arena. Let's break this down. The lower your placement on the social dominance hierarchy, the greater your invisibility. Men, I'm sorry, it's simply biology, and women cannot turn it off. Therefore, if you want to become attractive to women, you can pick an environment where your status is in the sewer like a ninja turtle, or you can strategically pick an environment where you are the equivalent of an ascended man being levitated into the clouds. To do this, pick an environment that you enjoy where your skills can improve as a function of time as your competency improves. Next, you need an environment where women are present and women and men naturally interact. Keep in mind, it's critical that you don't pick environments where women congregate just because women are there. Aside from how crazy that sentence sounds, it's inauthentic. It will be obvious. People, especially women, who are sensitive to these types of threats, yes, if you are only going to aerial yoga because women are there, you are a threat to the spirit of the experience. You won't stick around long enough to earn status through competency. Therefore, as a man, you should strive to grow in an area you are passionate about, and then the group of men and women will give you status based on your visible performance. You cannot give yourself status. Status is a gift you receive from the group. This concludes the foundation level of attraction. If you do not have these two things, you are the sexual marketplace equivalent of Casper the Friendly Ghost. You are literally invisible. Prioritize health and do something or remain as a non factor in the sexual marketplace. Now we are entering the multiplier zone. First up is experience, what you do together. Most men are boring. Yes, I'll say it again for the ones that missed it in the back. Most of you men are boring. If your idea for a date is asking a woman out for a coffee, you are boring. There are so many things you can do that are low cost, if not free. All it takes is a little imagination. Let's stick with the coffee date. The coffee date is one of the worst things a man can do to attract a woman. Coffee dates are trash because what is the actual experience? This is not rhetorical. What is the literal experience of going on a coffee date? Go ahead, take some time to think about it. I'll wait. The answer is nothing. If you plan on taking your girl on a coffee date as the first date, you are communicating that you are boring because you are offering nothing to experience. If you're trying to attract a woman, why in the flying fuck would you use nothing to do it? And no, it's not about the money. You can do things that are in the price range of a trip to Starbucks that are engaging. It just takes a little bit of forethought. I'll be covering quality experiences in another post, but for now, consider the things that you're already doing that are fun and engaging. If that is a struggle for you, start there before you attempt to seduce women. Keep in mind that if you're not having fun, it's almost certain that she isn't either. If you want to generate a connection, be the catalyst that gets her doing something, moving and smiling. Those positive feelings have to land somewhere. Why not be on the person who generated that happiness? Intelligence. Let's get a good look at how that brain's working. This is potentially going to hurt some feelings, but it needs to be said. Men, being smart is not going to help you get or at least attract women. However, ironically, being dumb will hurt your chances with women. Before you set my comment section on fire, please just hear me out. Women do not select for intelligence, but they select against morons. What does this mean in practice? Practically speaking, women don't line up outside of NASA and throw themselves at men who can send satellites into space. or tell us what would happen to our bodies if we were to experience the gravitational pull of Jupiter. I have never heard of a woman rubbing a scientist's thigh asking him to slowly explain why apples keep the doctor away. If this were the case, men would be cosplaying as scientists and they would be memorizing the periodic table. Men, being intelligent is great. It's an amazing thing. Mankind needs smart people to keep us from ushering in our own apocalypse. Women would be grateful not to have to deal with the walking dead. But, and I say this with a heavy heart, being smart doesn't turn their into an oasis. At the same time, women don't want men who, if you leave them to their own devices, they'll stick their fingers in electrical sockets or they'll think that they can defeat a lion in hand-to-hand combat because they can bench 2 plates at the gym. Idiots tend to make poor choices, die early, and are not the best for raising children. Think of intelligence as a size up on fries. They'll take it as a free upgrade, but they're not going to pay any extra to get a couple of extra fries at the bottom of the bag. To conclude intelligence and the multiplier layer, you don't need to be smart to attract women. However, licking lead paint will repel them like a force push. This brings us to the final stage, emotional connection, which is attraction and feelings combined. Think of emotional connection as the answer to the 4 previous mentioned areas of attraction. The first and most important field is physical attraction, followed by status. These 2 areas set the foundation. Things of value cannot be built on shaky foundations. Next, we have experience and intelligence, which is where many men get confused because women claim emphatically that they want these things. Let's put kindness and generosity in the intelligence bucket for now. They want these things, that much is true. I'm not here to gaslight you. However, the part that women leave out is that they want these things from the men that they want them from. If you are not already wanted, no amount of kindness is going to make a woman want you. Either she wants you or she doesn't. And this is the game, gentlemen, being able to understand what women actually respond to versus what they say. Become a man she finds attractive by improving your health, fitness, and status, and then attracting women will become much easier. These things won't guarantee you commitment or relationships, but they will dramatically improve your odds. Then, if she wants you, she will then look at qualities in the multiplier zone, which are very important for the commitment aspect of relationships. Attraction and commitment are not the same thing. Therefore, view your ability to create fun experiences and your IQ EQ as multipliers, not the basis of attraction. These aspects multiply her attraction to you and are needed to secure commitment, but they don't create attraction. Or maybe you can continue to try your luck wearing urban camouflage. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What do you think? Is attraction solely based on looks, or do these other areas apply? Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this post with anyone who will receive value from it. As always, until next time, let's connect.